Hunter Biden faces 17 years in prison.
You have 9 counts total, 3 of which are false or fraudulent returns. Those violations, 7206, are felonies. You've got 1 count of evasion, which is a 7201 charge, and then 6 counts of the misdemeanor, which is the failure to file and pay taxes. So, I mean, it's not likely that he'd get 18 years, 17 years in jail. And it's also likely that this is going to be pled out because a lot of the misdemeanor claims, Jordan, will merge into the felony claims. But the only reason this has happened, people need to understand this, is those whistleblowers. Okay? We represent some of those whistleblowers. But it is the whistleblowers that reported all this when Weiss came in, the special counsel, and said, hey, I'm limited on what I could do,
right,
even though they were prepared at that time to make the charge.
Remember that whole back and forth over, does he actually have the ability to bring charges wherever he wants to bring it? Then that was before he was made a special counsel.
Correct.
Then he's made a special counsel, and he starts bringing charges in places like California. But I don't think any of these charges would have been brought but for those IRS agents, FBI agents who went forward and said, listen, we were in the meetings where they said he tried to go in D.C. and the D.C. said no. He tried to go here and they would say no. And he did not really have the power, and the Department of Justice had their associate on him.
You know, our clients took a heck of a risk, and we're in federal court on one of them. We're in the administrative process on another. We're actually in the D.C. Court of Appeals in one of the cases, and then the others in the administrative process. And these were both award-winning FBI employees. But they shone the light on it. They kind of spotted, the spotlight went on it, and they stood up and they told the truth. And that is why there's anything here.
You know what you'd have to really ask, is this a move by Democrats to move Joe Biden out? I don't think people are necessarily not voting for Joe Biden.
I think you're right on that, by the way.
It's more of the pile-on of Joe Biden.
Well, I want,
we saw a pile-on of Donald Trump, and it made him stronger.
Yeah. And maybe it does here too. I don't know. But here's what I did notice. If you notice the language on the other networks like CNN, MSNBC, they're all calling for Joe Biden to step aside. Was this thing written by people in DOJ that would like to see the Democrats have a different nominee? I mean, I know that sounds conspiratorial, but you could have written the same indictment without being so tawdry, okay? But they didn't. So, and then you hear the drumbeat on moving Biden out, and everybody's talking about Newsom coming in or somebody else, and you wonder, is this part of this?
Yeah.
I hate even saying that, but that's how suspect we are right now of the Department of Justice and the FBI.
Yes, and how they're trying to influence both major parties.
Well, look at the influence they're having, right? I mean, I want to put this in context. The President of the United States' son, so you're not a step removed, this is your son, this is your family, is facing a 9-count indictment has been issued against him in California, subject to possibly 17 years if they were to make these sentences all run consecutively. 17 years. You've got the leading Republican nominee and a former president facing 4 cases involving criminal trials, 2 of which are in the federal courts, 2 of which are in the state court system. In the United States of America. And there's trials are going on right now and motions are going on right now in cases involving these individuals. Right now, there will be motions filed in the Hunter case soon.
Yeah.
Trump is already filing them.
He's been in court the last couple of days.
Then you got the group that's trying to remove Trump off the ballot with the 14th Amendment challenges that we've been successful at so far, just from the Colorado Supreme Court 2 days ago. There should not have needed to be whistleblowers for justice to have been done. This is a straightforward tax case. They should have indicted it 4 years ago. It would have been pled out, which this I'm sure still will be, and that should have been it. And they shouldn't have brought charges against President Trump, okay, a year and 16 months out before an election on really tainted legal theories.